everyone. Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. So excited to be with you in the studios. Having fun on a Saturday. Another busy week. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. And hope you're not too busy. Hope you check out the Vols down in UT, down in Neyland. We got a big event down there. We got the orange and white game. So it's excited to be down there. I'll stop in for a few moments. And we don't have the van's not down there. The team's not down there. My daughter's got a game. So it's kind of dad mode, work mode, and you know where that prevails. So a little bit of work. We'll have to sit on the back burner. Baby girl's playing. But hopefully see you guys down there. We've got a big event, about 10,000 people. Going to visit us down at Vol Village. We've got a baseball game versus LSU. So make sure you check us out and have a good time. Good Saturday. Real estate market is exciting. You know that last week we talked about a really big show. Talking about the 14th coming up through the 20th is the best time to get a property on the market. And so I encourage you guys, if you're thinking about buying or selling, to really check out this spring market. It's going to be a busy, busy spring. And we got interest rates in. So Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac loans, 30-year average, 6.82, 30-year loan. And our 15-year loan, 6.06. New interest rates that are in for the day. And I've got a great show for you. We know the spring market is upon us. And new construction could be a game changer. So newly built homes could be a game changer this spring. How is it affecting East Tennessee housing market? And as a buyer, how is it going to affect you if you're thinking about purchasing? Are we going to go new construction? Are we thinking resale? Or how about, Ryan, just to find my forever home? We'll talk about that and so much more. Real Estate with Ryan. Let's talk about some new congrats, some new listings, and a lot of activity going on. We always encourage our favorite part of the show. We say congrats and some closures. So those are really fun parts, a lot of journeys. So new listings got 4309 East Parkway out in Gatlinburg. Commercial property could be a wedding venue opportunity. It is a cash flow cabin too. Also has dual purpose with commercial use. So make sure you check that property out. 510 Wildflower Ridge Road in Gatlinburg. Mountain views, and that is a cash flow cabin. Check that property out. New listing coming up on 238 Dry Valley Road in Thornhill. It's got 20 plus acres. Cape, dormer windows, beautiful, shows well. Make sure you check that property out. New listing coming up in Oak Ridge, 156 South Columbia Drive in Oak Ridge, coming on the market in days. We got a beautiful property in South Knoxville, 334 West Ford Valley Road. Almost an acre, 0.71, I think, off the top of my memory. It's got a basement, unfinished, perfect for that man cave. And make sure you want to check that property out. Wood Park Lane in Knoxville. Check that property out. And a new listing coming out in Union County in Maynardville, 138 Dayflower Way. Congrats, new pendings on North Shore Drive. And then, of course, on School Gap Road, new buyer that we put under contract. And some congrats on our closings. 2721 Dane Drive. Super congrats to the Dobbs. Great clientele, and congrats on your closing. I know that was bittersweet. You know, this is a second home for them. And so, Ryan, we hate to sell it, but the traffic's just gotten so bad in Sevierville that we're going to keep the farm that we have and had to sell it. So, new buyers, congrats. Lunar Way, this was a domino closing, a whole generational family selling. For congrats to the Lopez's for closing on Lunar Way. There are new buyers, the Ticers. Congrats to purchasing that property, and then congratulations on the sale of your home at 8122 Weeblow Drive in Knoxville. And of course, our sweet family, the 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐬𝐭, they had some land that we helped them with. Some great past clients out in Sweetwater, selling that property in record time. Multiple offers. Congrats. And Brookview Drive in Maynardville, congrats. East Prospect Street in La Follette, congrats. And there's our activity. We've been busy, guys. Been busy. Thank you guys for following us on the radio. And if you're tuning in for the first time, you'll catch this radio show on Talk Radio 92.3 FM at 11 a.m. Or you can catch us on News Talk 98.7 at 1 o'clock. And if you happen to be out, missed the show, don't worry. We got you covered on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We talked about iTunes, Spotify, so many places. I can't keep them straight, but a lot of places you can catch Real Estate with Ryan on the rerun, and appreciate everybody listening. So Market's heating up in the real estate market. We know new construction. If you've seen, I live in Hardin Valley. We've seen that market heating up. And we're seeing builders across the country have opportunities and incentives. Could that be game changers as the interest rates are still, as we talked about in the open segment, 6.82 for a conventional loan? We're seeing 6.60 for a 15-year. So rates are still up there. Don't wait on the federal government. They haven't helped us in a while, and it seems like the Fed keeps meeting and kicking the can down the road as we speak. So talking with a lot of our clients this last couple of weeks, and we're talking about price improvements, where we need to be. Don't count on the Fed rates. That was different, Ryan. You were talking different as we were talking March. I said, no. I thought we knew, but that's what happens if you try to time the market. You just don't know. And we're really just not sure where the government's going to go. But we do know that the rates are probably not going to increase. And what does that mean for a buyer and seller in today's market? It means a lot. You know, a lot of people last year didn't make moves, and we're seeing that. As you can see, the activity and things we're doing helping buyers and sellers across East Tennessee, we're making moves regardless of the interest rates. Spring market's going to be a great opportunity to put your property in the market. We talked about that last week. But as a buyer, what if I'm selling? I'm going to look for something. Or our buyers of so many people that we're helping across the country look for new housing. So newly built homes could be a game changer this spring. And buying a home this spring, you're probably navigating today's affordability, right? You know, that's a big deal. The challenges that we're dealing with are a limited number of homes still for sale, including in the East Tennessee market. We're about 4,000 across our whole DMA, all right? But what if there's a solution that could help to that? If you're having a hard time finding a new home, or your forever home, or mortgage rates are putting a pressure on your budget, it may be time to look at new construction. New construction is an inventory bright spot. So when looking for a new home, you can choose existing homes, which is our resales, or previously built homes, or our new constructions that have, as you can see, a lot of them that have the framing stage, it's under roof, and those are opportunities that are coming to market. Some builders are releasing inventory at certain times, and some are on the market now where there's changes that you can make. You know, if it's roofed up or maybe there's drywall, we've got several in our area that opportunities still come in to make changes. The shortage of existing homes for sales have opened up with the possibility of new constructions to more buyers who may have not considered one. And there's good news. There's more new homes to pick from right now. And the graph shows recently the new construction is ramping up in those key areas. In 2024, in February, we're showing the number of homes for sale has actually increased from 2023. That number was 664,716 versus this time last year, that number was about 579,000. Starts or homes where builders just broke ground have seen a big increase lately, and competition or completions that builders have just completed are up significantly as well. So if you're looking for a new home or move-in ready home, you can customize it, maybe build across the time frame. That's what we're talking about. A lot of new constructions that are track builders and things like that, you still have opportunities to customize. Still change out to granite or do something a little different, or maybe we do some custom molding. We'll talk about this. This is important that the builders are offering incentives to help with affordability. And to kind of sweeten the pot, the builders are offering things like mortgage rate buydowns. You're seeing that now in today's market. Other perks for homeowners and home buyers. This can offset today's affordability challenge and also get back into dream of home ownership. Builders aren't rate locked in, and they would love to see you in your new home because they don't want to own it, right? They're investors. They have it and the opportunity to sell. And many of the public home builders have said now that earnings are called and not all are going to be pulling back on incentives. So that means opportunities for mortgage rate buydowns, closing costs, all that. The use of sales incentives are still showing that some momentum, as of 60% of respondents are using them, up from February. So you got a lot of incentives going into the marketplace. You see them builders that are offering closing costs, rate buydowns, And new construction builders are incentivized to get that inventory off the market. So I think that's a good opportunity as purchasing moving forward. Kind of coming into the second half of the show, we'll talk about buyers, what opportunities are in the new construction market. Typically we're not seeing price adjustment in new construction, but that's where we're seeing incentive vibes coming in. So we got this and so much more. Real Estate with Ryan, second half. We'll be back with you in just a few moments. Make sure you stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss the second half of Real Estate with Ryan. Stay tuned, guys.
There's no place like home, and this basketball house is special. The great games, players, championships, it's a true home court advantage.
I'm Ryan Coleman. Both basketball and real estate take great drive and determination. Whether you're in the market to buy or sell a home,
let Hometown Realty give you the home court advantage.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you. All right, we're back at it. Real Estate with Ryan, second half. It's always going into break. So much going on over here. It's just always fun trying to keep it all together, try to keep it sane. Well, before we get too far into the show, I want to do our 60-second Vol update. All right, drum roll, please. All right, big news. Vol action we got. Big game today, Saturday. We talked about that. It's orange and white game. Make sure you check it out. Well, we're going to have about 10,000 fans down there, so limited because of the new construction, everything they're doing, renovation to the stadiums. But hope you go check it out. I might be down there for a few minutes. Hope you can say hi. And we got a big event from there. We've got a baseball game, go LSU, so it's a kind of a big party. And let's see what else we got going on. I think the men may be down there. The basketball team may be there, so make sure you check them out and say hi. Let's see. We've got a new coach in town, Lady Vols. Big action there. Kim Caldwell, new coach for Lady Vols, and excited for her and her journey, and excited for big things for the ladies. So that's our news and our update, our 60-second Vol update. Hometown Realty, proud sponsor of the Vols. Go Big Orange. So a lot going on. It's that time of season, right? You got the transfer portal for basketball. We got football hitting all cylinders. It's going to be an amazing year, and it's going to be a fast year if you can see. I was talking to a great client of mine, and he said, Ryan, the older that you get, it seems like time just keeps on flying. I said, you don't have to tell me anything. I've got a birthday coming up in a couple months, and it's you got my kiddos getting bigger, and I'm sure you guys have the same thing as everybody's getting big, and days to weeks to months, it all kind of runs together. And then, of course, there's work, right? We got to have work. And I get on here, and I love being with you guys. It kind of gives me a break from my everyday grind. Sometimes it's a grind. I know you guys kind of feel that in your work, but glad it's the weekend and glad to be with you guys. You know, we talked about on the beginning part of the show, we talked about new construction could be a game changer here in East Tennessee. And we can see that that's a big opportunity for buyers moving forward in 2024. You know, the interest rates are going to be up a little bit. Not sure if we're going to see adjustments where we expected, but we know they're going to be under 7, at least for now. And there shouldn't be any hikes that should be anticipate. But you never know. You never know this year what we'll expect. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, we know now that the kiddos are going to be out of school in a matter of months. And we know that the opportunity to buy and sell is going to be at the peak. You know, so new construction and what we're seeing builders talking on the first part of Real Estate with Ryan, that they may use sales incentives to show more momentum, as 60% of the respondents are reported using them. And that's up 58% from February. Just remember, buying from a builder is different from buying from a home seller. So it's so important to partner with a great agent or a great broker that can help you. You know, we're dealing with the contracts can be complex. A lot of them are builder contracts. There's certain triggers and points that you've got to hit in there. We'll walk you through those if you choose to help with us or work with us. But nevertheless, before you go forward with new construction, check with the builder's reputation. Review their products. Review their, guess what? Contracts. Very, very important. And then, of course, any upgrades, their punch list, things that you're going to go through and think about the upgrades. Because a lot of times we look at the base price. Base price doesn't have all the incentives. A lot of builders here in town have their own lender, own title company. Watch out for hidden fees. A lot of fees are passed on through the affiliate partners and not necessarily the best savings, but some may be. Make sure you do your diligence and shop. Do your checking. It's a big, very, very big important. A lot of times new construction, what we're going to find is that you're going to put a deposit or a lot, and you're going to secure that property. One of the biggest things that you're going to face is if you're selling a home dealing with new construction. Some builders will allow a contingency. So if you're thinking about selling, you have a home to sell, and maybe your home is in Knoxville, it's going to sell relatively quickly. No worries. They should do a contingency. But what if the builder won't? Those things and fees and cost, and whether you're financing the construction or is the builder, are all things you want to get with your agent and discuss those things before making an offer. We're talking about the second half of Real Estate with Ryan and going into the buying season, because it's buying season. We've got a lot of opportunity. I think 2024 will definitely be better than 2023. I think we'll see an excess of, I don't know the exact number. I don't want to quote exactly where I think the numbers will be, but the numbers were pretty dismal for 2013. How about 23? Add 10 to it, Ryan. Sorry, 2023. But what they were saying, which not far from what I was just saying, that the 2023 market last year was almost as low as sales from 2010. So it wasn't far from 2013, Ryan. But if you remember that 2010 to 13 range, it was a difficult sale, a difficult time. So inflation, cost of affordability, interest rates had a lot to do with last year's sales. Let's talk about why everybody that's purchasing this year should know about closing costs. Most buyers understand closing costs, what it is, what goes into it. But let's talk about that before making a decision to purchase a home. And maybe it's your first home, never bought a home before. Well, this show's for you. We're going to talk about closing costs. And I get asked that all the time. Remember, we do this all the time, and we're consistently helping buyers and sellers throughout the years. And so sometimes we get used to doing kind of in our own space, right? You just take it for granted that everybody knows our industry. But the average consumer may purchase or sell a home once every maybe 5 times in their lifetime. And so some of these costs need to be explained. And as the real estate market is always changing, keep in mind that things are always changing at us, and it's always good to be updated. So closing costs are fees and expenses that you must pay before becoming the legal owner of a house, condo, or townhouse. Closing costs vary depending on the purchase price of the home and how it's being financed. So simply put, closing costs are additional fees and payments on top of your down payment that you'll be required to pay. What breaks up closing costs? There's a lot of different things that go into them. Number one, governmental fees. A lot of our local and state stamps require just that you purchase the property. They're going to charge you a fee on the amount of the purchase price. So they're called recordation taxes, some other fees. So you have that. Now, you're going to probably get a loan. And more than likely, if you get a loan, you're going to do an appraisal. So there's appraisal fees. Now, an appraisal, for you guys may already know about that, is the banks are going to loan money on the property, whether it's land, condo, townhouse. And then that appraisal, make sure that what you're borrowing is worth it. And the lender will actually determine their loan on the appraised price. So your appraisal runs about, in Knoxville, about $400 to $500. Credit report fees, they range $50 to probably $100 is a good estimation. So when they pull your credit, they pull something called a tri-merge, where it's actually 3 different versions. You got Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And they pull all 3 of those together, and then they charge you for that. Now, lender origination fees. So they would be points on the loan. So if you're, purchasing a home for $200,000 and you had 1 point origination, 1 discount, those would be fees added to the loan. Points are just basically percentage, half point, etc. You can kind of see the trend. Now, a lot of times on your mortgage or interest rates, lenders do something called par pricing. So, if the rates are 6.800, that means you're paying no origination or no discount. And so that there's no additional cost. A lot of the lenders will make money on the back end of the loan. That's called the servicing, and where that they'll cover the cost of what they get the money from and what they sell it to you on the open market. Title service fees. So you're going to close with a title company. We don't do attorneys here in East Tennessee. So there's title service fees, and there's courier fees, and there'll be several $100s of the closing fee, tax service fees. Now, East Tennessee, you're not required to have a survey, but if you're purchasing large acreage or anything like that, there's survey fees. If you need an attorney for anything that has to do will agreement, shared will, anything that revolves an attorney, there'll be an additional cost and fees. And then we have underwriting fees. So typically, Ryan, how much are closing costs? Well, they usually range about 3% of the loan amount. And so it's a loan amount, and that covers that particular topic with closing costs. So keep it in mind. Builders can pay it. You've got an opportunity as a buyer's agent to help get the seller to pay it and incorporate it in your whole transaction. I hope you've enjoyed Real Estate with Ryan. Look forward to seeing you guys next weekend. You enjoy your week.